Have you ever wondered how to make audio edits like this? Or this? Well, luckily for you, today I'm going to show you how to make a mashup in just 4 main simple steps. So without further ado, let's get straight to the video. For clarification, I'm going to teach you how to make a simple 2-song mashup in this video. I'll make a separate tutorial for the other types of mashups in the future. First, let's define what we're creating. In the world of audio engineering, a mashup refers to layering recognizable elements from 2 or more songs into a single hybrid track. These elements could be vocals, instrumentals, or individual stems. The first step is selecting your songs. Since we all love Alan Walker, I'll be using his tracks for this demo. With the help of my trusty Wheel of Fortune, we've picked our tracks. Pro tip: this is optional, but for complex mashups, you really want to put thought into your selection. It helps to be familiar with the vibe of both songs so you can visualize, or in this case, audiolize, how they'll fit together. If you can already hear the mix in your head, then that's a great sign. Once you have your songs, it's time to gather your stems. Stems are the individual audio tracks that make up a song, usually divided into categories like drums, bass, keys, leads, pads, vocals, and effects. You might also hear the term multi-track stems. These are even more specific. For example, if you only want the muted guitar from Alan Walker's Faded without the other synths, you'd look for the guitar multi-track. Downloading stems can be tricky, especially for underrated songs. If you can't find them, you can use AI tools like vocalremover.org or melody.ml to split the tracks. Alternatively, you can just use the basic instrumental and a cappella versions.
Okay.
Now that we've got our stems settled, let's start applying changes to our tracks. For this video, I'll be using Mixcraft 10 as my DAW. I'll make a separate tutorial in the future for other DAWs like FL Studio and Audacity. Open Mixcraft and simply drag and drop your audio files into the workspace. Depending on your computer's capacity, this may take a couple of minutes. Once the audio files have been imported, you can start applying changes to the tracks. Though the order doesn't really matter much, I usually adjust the tempo first before changing the key of the song. To adjust the tempo, double-click on audio track to reveal the audio properties tab and then select the audio tracks of the songs that you want to change the tempo of. Then hover over here on the leftmost side of the properties tab, you'll see 2 options: time stretch and use project tempo. Right now, it's currently at time stretch. We'll select use project tempo so that you could adjust the tempo in terms of beats per minute or BPM. Mixcraft will then automatically detect the BPM of your tracks and then adjust it according to your project tempo. By the way, make sure you set your project tempo to your desired BPM. Since I Don't Wanna Go is at 150 BPM, which we can use a half time of 75 BPM, and On My Way is known to be at 85 BPM. I'll use 80 BPM since it sits right somewhere in the middle. Do the same adjustment for the On My Way audio tracks. Also, make sure that the song's audio tracks are set at the same BPM. You wouldn't want the drums to be at 85 BPM while the vocals are at 79. After that's done, it's time to adjust the key signatures. Since I Don't Wanna Go is in B major and On My Way is in E major, which are 5 semitones apart, the sum of the absolute values of our pitch adjustments should be equal to 5. To make the mashup sound natural, we want a key signature in the middle. For this mashup, I'll use D major. I don't wanna go will be pitched at +3 semitones and on my way at -2 semitones. Generally, we don't need to change the pitch of the drum tracks since it usually makes them sound unnatural. We'll only change the pitch of the melodic tracks. It is advisable that you turn on form 1 preservation for vocals. This ensures your vocals don't sound squeaky like a chipmunk when pitched up or monstrous when pitched down.
I'm sorry, but
It preserves the original singer's timbre and vocal dynamics.
I'm sorry, but
And that leads us to the final step in making a mashup, which is to lay out the mix structure. There's a lot of variations on this. You could do a duet style where the vocals overlap with each other, a stem mix and match style where you overlap the instrumental stems of both songs, and many other styles. For this video, I'll do a basic switching vocal style mashup where vocal B plays on top of instrumental A from the first verse up to the first chorus, then switches vocal A over instrumental B, then they overlap with one another for the bridge and final chorus. There are instances, however, where the song structures don't line up. For example, I Don't Wanna Go has a shorter pre-chorus than On My Way. In this case, we'll trim the other half of On My Way's pre-chorus. What I did for the mashup second pre-chorus is a bit different. Since I Don't Wanna Go immediately jumps to the drop after the second pre-chorus, I took the chorus build-up from the first part of the song and pasted it to On My Way's chorus build-up. I also doubled the pre-chorus lyrics to match the On My Way instrumental bar length. Though you could do the opposite. There would be a lot more to adjust, however. These are little tricks and tips that are helpful to have, though they don't apply to all kinds of mashups. At the end of the day, mashup making is an art. So to recap today's video, we have 4 steps in making a simple mashup. Step 1, select your songs. Step 2, gather your resources. This could be stems or instrumentals and acapellas if you can't find available stems for your songs. Step 3, apply tempo changes and pitch adjustments. And step 4, mix and match according to your creative direction. That's all for today's video. Thank you so much for watching my first ever tutorial here. Let me know in the comments what you want to learn about next. And please consider subscribing and stay tuned for the FL Studio tutorials. Thanks for watching.